and tells us what we can expect when the rain comes.
Hey there, Tom. Well, I do have rain chances in the forecast over the next few days, some associated with that swirling system to our west. I am not forecasting right now that kind of a river flooding or flash flooding for Houston or southeast Texas. We do have a smaller chance for rain Sunday through Tuesday with several different systems moving in and out of the region. And for tomorrow specifically, we're still somewhat within the circulation, within the grasp of that powerful weather system that did bring that catastrophic flooding to central Texas, but we're on the far eastern extent of it. So some of the rain we actually saw today was influenced by that weather system. So I'll show you that here on 13 Alert Radar. This is a radar loop as it gets going of the past 6 hours, or it was supposed to be. Here we go. There's the radar loop of the past 6 hours. We did pick up some rain from College Station all the way down to Columbus, and you can see that rainfall that fell in the Brazos, that was associated with that weather system that's to our west. That being said, plus a potential sea breeze getting going tomorrow, we have a 30% chance for a few isolated showers and thunderstorms across the region, mainly in the afternoon and evening hours. So besides that, we'll see another warm day with temperatures in the low to mid 90s and a couple of clouds out there here and there. But by next week, we got a new weather system coming in that's going to shake up our pattern. We're going to talk about the warmer and drier weather that's to come, coming up in my full forecast, Tom.
Elyse, thank you. A mother and her 13-year-old daughter were injured in what meteorologist Elyse Smith is here now, and we wanted to know what was the weather pattern that actually led to this event?
Yeah, talk about some of the viewer questions that we've been getting. And this is called a mesoscale convective vortex, or convective vortex. It's a big technical term, but as you can see here illustrated on our clouds and radar loop, it was a continuous swirl of showers and thunderstorms that stayed in a singular place. Now, these systems sometimes don't stall like this one did, but this can happen when you get a very humid air mass that allows for a lot of thunderstorms to develop in one particular area, and then they somewhat start to move together. And that's what allowed for the heavy rain to continuously fall in the same spot. One thing that when these develop in the Midwest, you usually get a jet stream to move them out of the way. But here in southeast Texas, it's summer. That jet stream is far to our north, so that was the perfect concoction for this to just be able to stay over central Texas.
And do we need to be concerned here in southeast Texas that this same system, these same circumstances would impact us the same way?
No, not exactly. So that system is going to be weakening tomorrow, but they still have one more day of some heavy rain that is going to fall in the exact same area. So Tom, you were talking about some of those rainfall totals, some areas seeing 20 inches plus. And one thing I want to point out is how this water is going to drain towards southeast Texas. So specifically, we're talking about the Colorado River and also the Guadalupe rivers. Now, a lot of the water, thankfully, is going to be able to be held in both Canyon Lake and Lake Travis. But this water does have to flow to the Gulf. This is how it works in Texas with our river basin. So the Colorado River Basin, both the Guadalupe and the Colorado River are going to flow into far western southeast Texas, and those floodwaters they'll eventually make it downstream by mid to later portion of next week, depending on how much more rain they get tomorrow and the stream flows. Thankfully, though, we are not expecting the same kind of flooding like what happened in 1987, but we are going to potentially see some of these spots along both rivers crest in minor flood stage next week. So that is definitely something we'll be watching for you. Meanwhile, here's a big regional run of future track. I mentioned that they got one more day of rain, so you can see all the rain and thunderstorms that are possible tomorrow again in central Texas, but not necessarily as widespread or as intense here in southeast Texas. I did increase our rain chance though, because I think it's the combination of some energy from that weather system plus our sea breeze that will give us the chance for a few showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Not everyone's going to see them, so if you see more sunshine, it's definitely going to be another warmer day with highs in the mid 90s. By Monday, we get a more formable sea breeze. And then by Tuesday, we have the chance to see a few more scattered thunderstorms from a completely different weather system. And that will be a big upper level low that will be developing over the Gulf. So we're going to be pinched between two systems. Big heat dome to the west, then this upper level low that's actually going to move from east to west across the Gulf. Not tropical, something we don't have to worry about any tropical development from, but this will keep some moisture across the Gulf Coast, including the southeast Texas coast and us here in Houston by Tuesday, but then into the middle to later portion of next week. We have two big areas of high pressure, two big heat domes that will take over. This is going to dry out the forecast and warm us up. So we'll be watching for middle to later portion of next week. High temperatures could be climbing back into the upper 90s, getting close to that triple-digit mark. We have not had a 100-degree day yet this year. That's kind of nice. That's a possibility, though, later this week. In the meantime, with the cloud cover and the rain, we'll keep more seasonal high temperatures. I do want to give you an update on Chantal. We just got in the 10 p.m. update from the National Hurricane Center. And one thing I have to point out, Chantal strengthened a little, now at 50 miles per hour for those sustained winds. Still a tropical storm getting closer and closer to making landfall. Landfall likely imminent near Charleston, South Carolina, just to the north of that within the next hour or two. Those tropical storm force winds are the top concern in the near term, with tropical storm warnings out for much of South Carolina, North Carolina. Then it's the locally heavy rainfall and the flooding rains that could lead to some issues over the weekend. Meanwhile, right now it's quiet out there. We actually are starting to see more of a clear sky. 82 degrees here in the city of Houston and 85 right now in Galveston. It's been a nice week and weekend, a holiday weekend to be along the Gulf Coast. 13 alert radar, got nothing to talk about, but I will go over future track to show you the changes with tomorrow's forecast. So I do think it's going to be a pretty dry and sunny start to the day, but as we go on throughout the day, we start to see a few more clouds building in. There's that sea breeze getting going, isolated activity early on in the afternoon, and then you can see some showers and thunderstorms developing along and north of I-10 as that sea breeze lifts farther north. The heavier rain will stay to our west associated with that system for one more day of rainfall for them. Then we dry out after sunset. Your 10-day forecast now, a few showers and thunderstorms over the next 3 days. I'm not going to rule out even a couple of showers or spot showers day by day when we start to see those warmer temperatures, but eventually I do think we'll get a couple of drier days and hotter days by the time we get to next week.
Elyse, thank you. Well, the U.S. soccer team, let's take a look at our weather and our forecast for tomorrow and into the beginning of the week with meteorologist Elyse Smith. Elyse?
Yep, so the same weather system that brought that catastrophic flooding, it's still swirling over the state. It's not as strong, it's not as organized, but it's going to bring rain for one more day to central Texas. And you can see that here on this upper level flow loop. That pattern still over our heads, but at this moment, it has kind of fizzled out and weakened a little bit. So as we look again at some of these potential threats we'll face, we'll see more rainfall fall in the same area, the same watershed. So then later on into next week, we'll be watching for some of those floodwaters to make it downstream. And then we could potentially see crest and minor flood stage along the Guadalupe River and also the Colorado River. But I'm not expecting that kind of surreal flooding that we've had in central Texas here in southeast Texas. Here's that run of future track for tomorrow. As you can see, looping over the next 24 hours, we still have showers and thunderstorms likely across central Texas for one more day before we finally start to see a pattern change that gets that out of here. So for us, I have increased our rain chance to tomorrow to 30% for a few showers and thunderstorms, particularly into the afternoon and evening hours. Then by Monday, whole new weather system rolling in, keeps rain in the forecast. And then Tuesday, I think that's going to be our best day to get more widely scattered thunderstorms across southeast Texas. And day by day, we'll see pretty seasonal high temperatures in the low to mid 90s. Here's that weather setup for you. So out west, we have a big heat dome, big area of high pressure. But throughout this next week, we are going to see an upper level low, not tropical in nature, move from east to west across the Gulf. As it approaches us, it will increase our rain chances for Tuesday particularly. But then that fizzles out. We start to see two heat domes develop in its wake. And between both of these, I think this is going to keep the forecast quite hot across the southern half of the United States later next week. And you see our temperatures do reflect that. We're staying pretty seasonal in the low to mid 90s. Then we increase high temperatures into next weekend, climbing into the upper 90s. Could be close to our first triple-digit day of the year this year. Meanwhile, Chantal getting closer and closer to making landfall tonight as a strong tropical storm with winds of 50 miles per hour. One thing that really caught my attention with Chantal was how quickly it was able to form into a tropical depression, then tropical storm in less than ideal conditions. And as it makes a landfall, again, the top concern in the immediate future is going to be tropical storm force winds from South Carolina, from Charleston to Myrtle Beach into portions of North Carolina. And then it's the heavy rains that follow. So localized flooding will also be a concern for areas in North Carolina, South Carolina, and even Virginia into the rest of this weekend. As for us here in southeast Texas, pretty calm, pretty clear and quiet out there. More of a clear sky tonight than some of the nights we've seen previously. Don't got much to talk about on 13 alert radar, but here on Future Track, you'll see what I'm talking about with tomorrow's forecast. So I do think it is going to be a pretty clear night tonight, bright sunny start to the day tomorrow. We will see the influence of a sea breeze, so could see a couple of showers pop up along the I-10 corridor with the sea breeze early on. Then around 3, 4, 5 o'clock, we get the daytime heating, a slight influence with some energy from that system to the west. That gives us a few more isolated thunderstorms along and north of I-10 into the evening. We lose the sunshine, we lose the energy, all of that rains out, and then we're left with a dry evening tomorrow night. So your 10-day forecast, I do think Monday, Tuesday, very similar, where we have the chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms each day. That high pressure system moves in, that helps dry us out and then warm us up. I do think we'll have a better opportunity to see a couple of consistent days with highs in the upper 90s looking ahead to the end of next week.
Thank you.